Good morning. So, this morning, I just got finished working out and exercising, and so haven't really done much to myself, but we turn my music down. So, I just wanted to come to you this morning and just kind of, reach out to you and tell you that wherever you're going through today and however it feels, just know that, it has the ability to work out for your good. So, as I was working out this morning, I think I've mentioned before in videos that I used to say I hate exercising. I can't stand exercising. And I don't necessarily feel like I, am in love or addicted to exercising, but I can say that I've made exercising a part of my worship experience. So in the morning, I'm fully dressed. I have on a dress and everything. I don't change out. I don't do, I don't put on sneakers or anything. I just, I start with a prayer and setting the intentions of what I'm doing, towards God and towards the universe. I specifically thank God for his love, and I ask him to partner my efforts with his efforts. I thank him for the gift of his spirit, and ask spirit to continue to show me balance and to show me what balance looks like. I ask God to fill me with love and his peace, and that in my weakness that he be made strong. And I stop between exercises, and I just am intentional about all of it. And it's beautiful. I don't know how effective it is as far as, fitness is concerned or whatever, but I just know it works for me, and it's very intentional. So this morning, as I was exercising, I realized that, at some points I would feel pain, not necessarily pain where it's like something's wrong, but pain in, wow, I'm really pushing it. I'm pushing my comfort zone, and I'm shaking, and I feel every muscle. And most of the time I would give up at that moment. But I realized the benefit of pain. Pain is such a gift. And I think back on my times of pain, extreme pain. A lot of you don't know, but a few years ago, actually a couple years ago, I went through the most painful season of my life. And during that time, all I kept hearing was God say, just trust me. And I would pray and I would say, God, deliver me, stop the pain. The pain that I was inflicting on myself, and the pain that life was inflicting on me. I would pray and ask God to make it stop. And he said, just trust me. And I said, okay, God, I trust you. And then the pain would get worse, and I would continue to hurt myself, and I would see the effects of the hurt that I was inflicted. And I would say, God, surely now it's time for you to rescue me. It's getting worse. And he would say, just trust me. Just trust me. Don't try to stop. Don't try to, diet. Don't try to, stop the behavior. Just trust me. When I say it's over, it's over. Meaning you'll never have to go through this again. Just trust me. And I would say, okay, God, I trust you. I trust you. And the pain would continue. And I would continue with these inflicting, self-defeating behaviors and self-destructive behaviors. And I was just devastated. Part of the pain that I would inflict on myself is through my eating, just eating crap. And, eating things that I knew just weren't good for me, just binging out on just bad foods. And And it definitely just felt like addiction. Like, those times where you just eat, and like, oh, why am I eating? Why am I eating this junk? Why am I eating this poison? It doesn't make me feel good. I feel awful afterwards. And I still wasn't even a meat eater, but that's when I used to tell people that I was just the most unhealthy eating vegetarian you will ever know. And I would just ask God to deliver me. And during that time, I was also drinking, and my drinking to most would be like, oh, well, you drink. Well, for me, it was a big deal because I don't drink. I never have drank. And so alcohol and me just didn't mix. And I would say, God, what is this? What is this? And like, you need to show up now. You need to save me now. And he just kept saying, not now. Just trust me. And so I think at that time, and I think about how painful that time was, and it brings me back to pain and the pain I felt this morning. And I realized that pain is a symptom of greatness to come. Pain is a precursor of something being birthed that you couldn't have done yourself. Like the pain of childbirth. You go through it and it feels impossible, but if you just keep with it and you trust the process, then you're able to birth something that, you couldn't have done on your own, you couldn't have created, you couldn't have done. And the pain of exercise, of if you just push through the pain, then, what's to come is something that you thought never, you never knew possible. New muscles, new shapes, new physiques. And, pain is a beautiful, beautiful sign. I'm not going to say it's a beautiful thing because it definitely doesn't feel beautiful, but it's definitely a sign of beauty to come. And I just want to encourage you that if you have pain in your life this morning, partner that pain with God's love. Allow God to use that pain to birth something in you that you never knew possible. Allow that pain to just perfect you. There's a scripture in the Old Testament where David says, and I'm going to quote it badly, but something to the effect is, in the fire of affliction is where I found you. And he got to the point where he was able to love affliction because it's in affliction that he found God. And so I never thought I'd thank God for my pain. I never thought it was possible. But today, I thank God for the pain that I endured in order to find him the way that I have. I thank God for the pain that I experienced during exercise, or denying myself certain foods or certain activities, because right on the other side of that pain is his miracle. Today, I'm the woman that I've always dreamed about being, that felt so foreign to me. There was this woman that I always knew I was meant to be. There was this woman that I always knew that it felt like a dream, but I knew one day I was going to be her. And she was just like the epitome of perfection to me. And she was God, and she is God, and she is me. Today she is me. God showed up through my pain to create himself through me. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So don't rush your pain, and don't try to rush your change, because anything that grows fast dies fast. Let it go through its growth process. Let it go through its birth process. Let it go through its death process. And it's scary. It's scary. Believe me. When you just are literally on the brink of the edge of a pain that you don't think you'll come back from. And it's scary to have to trust God that you've never seen, that you know of, and that you don't hear audibly, but you got to trust his love. It's scary because you know that you're on the brink of death. You just know it. And yet you say, you know what, God, sink or swim, it's on you. Sink or swim, it's on you. If I die, I return to you. If I live, I give you the glory. And you and me will journey forever. I thank you, God, for my pain. And I thank God for your pain this morning. And I encourage you to just keep letting him love you. And if you don't know how to let him love you, then set your intention on that. Thank you for growing with me this morning. And peace, everyone.